Have you ever stopped to think why, even though you wish with all your heart, what you want so badly simply doesn't happen? What if the real mistake wasn't in what you want, but in how you feel about it? Neville Goddard, one of the greatest masters of spiritual manifestation, said something that few really understand. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. This phrase seems simple, but it has the power to completely change your life. Because while you act like someone who is still waiting for a miracle, for money, for love, for an answer, the universe continues to give you exactly that. Waiting. The key to manifestation is not in desperate desire, nor in anguished prayer. The key lies in your state of being. It lies in learning to act as if you already have what you want. And this is where many people get stuck, because we have been taught to ask, wait, suffer, deserve. But Neville Goddard teaches us a higher, more direct, more spiritual path, the path of living as if it were already real. Imagine for a moment, how would you act if you had already received what you are asking for? How would you walk, talk, think? What words would come out of your mouth? How would your energy be when you wake up? This is the true practice of full spirituality, living in the state of what you want to attract. And it's not about empty pretense. It's about embodying the vibration of your desire. When you learn to act as if you have already received it, you align yourself with the energy field of fulfillment. You cease to be a spiritual beggar and become a conscious co-creator of your reality. Neville did not talk about visualization as a fantasy, but as a creative act. He claimed that imagination is God in action. Therefore, everything you hold with faith within your inner world will sooner or later be reflected in your outer world. But this requires something that most people avoid: silencing despair, abandoning doubt, and sustaining faith even when nothing seems to change. This is the test. This is the journey of those who manifest with consciousness. If you are watching this video, it is no coincidence. Perhaps you're at that very moment of transition, between the version that suffers while waiting and the version that decides to create. And I want to invite you now to dive with me into this transformative teaching. Let's explore together what Neville Goddard called the art of assuming the feeling of desire fulfilled. Are you ready to stop asking and start being? Are you ready to abandon the role of the one who waits and take on the vibrational state of the one who already lives what they desire? If so, stay with me, because in the next few minutes you will understand clearly, practically, and deeply how to act as if you already have what you desire, and why this is not just a technique, but a spiritual code of transformation. Just take a deep breath now. Feel what it would be like to have what you want so much. Imagine yourself there. Now stay in that state, because in the next step, you will learn how to sustain that feeling until it becomes reality. And before we move on to the next step of this transformation, I want to extend a sincere invitation to you. If this content makes sense to you, if on some level you feel that this message has found you at the right moment, comment below, "I already am." Write it down, declare it, because when you write it down, you anchor this new identity. You are not just interacting with a video, you are signing a commitment to your new version. And take advantage of this moment now, while your mind is still vibrating at this frequency, to leave your like. This is not just support for the channel. It is a way of saying to the universe, I want more of this in my life. Subscribe too, because here you will not find shallow content. Each video is a piece of a great spiritual puzzle. And if you feel that this journey has something to do with you, you'll want to be here for the next revelation. Do you know what the biggest misconception is that prevents people from manifesting what they want? Believing that simply asking the universe, or God, or whatever higher power you believe in, is enough to make change happen. How many times have you heard or even repeated phrases like, "I ask with faith but nothing happens," or "I deserve it but things stay the same"? This way of thinking is more common than it seems. And that's exactly why so many people live in repetitive cycles, feeling that life isn't moving forward, that dreams don't come true, and that requests are never answered. Neville Goddard was categorical in stating, "Manifesting is not asking, it is being." This is one of the greatest revelations of full spirituality and perhaps the most powerful teaching you can internalize starting today. Desiring something is only the first level, but to desire and at the same time feel lack, anxiety, despair, or doubt is to send out a vibration that is totally opposite to what you want to attract. It's like saying, "I want," but vibrating, "I don't have." And that's what the universe picks up, your vibration, not your words. Now, let's continue, because the next step is to understand how to sustain this state of being even when everything around you seems to challenge your faith. Because when you understand that the universe does not respond to your conscious desire, but rather to your internal state, everything changes. The universe, the divine mind, the creative consciousness, call it what you will, responds to who you are, not what you want. When you vibrate absence, you receive more absence. When you vibrate scarcity, you receive more scarcity. When you vibrate "one day it will happen," the universe understands it's not now. This is where the central point of Neville Goddard's teaching comes in. Manifestation happens at the exact moment you assume the feeling of already being what you want. Not later, not when everything is perfect, but now, at this moment when you change your inner state, when you decide that you already are, when you walk with the posture of someone who has already received, when you speak like someone who already knows, when you feel like someone who already lives. This is the big key. This is the energetic password for conscious manifestation, and that is why many people try, but continue to receive the same experiences. Because the conscious mind repeats affirmations, but the body vibrates scarcity, because they say, "I am prosperous," but they are afraid to look at their bank account, because they repeat, "I am loved," but they live comparing themselves, feeling rejection, and waiting for external validation. Neville taught that imagination is the only way to change reality, because it allows you to create a new state of consciousness within yourself. And it is precisely this new state that begins to reshape external events. It doesn't matter what you see on the outside, because all of this is shaping your reality. You are creating, even without realizing it. And if you are not creating what you want, it is because your inner state is still aligned with the opposite. What matters is what you hold inside you, because the external world is nothing more than a delayed reflection of what you already are internally. Think about it. If everything around you is just a reflection, then there's no point in fighting with the mirror. You have to change what is being reflected. You need to adjust the internal image, the internal energy, the internal feeling, because that is where change happens, not the other way around. And maybe now you're asking yourself, but how do I change my inner state if everything around me shows me the opposite? That's a profound question. And the answer lies in the power of your imagination, in the power of your focus, in your ability to close your eyes to the physical world and open the eyes of your soul. You need to learn to persist in the new state, even if nothing around you has changed yet. This is active faith. This is spiritual mastery. This is vibrational maturity. Neville said that persistence in assuming what you want to be is the sure path to manifestation. And this persistence is not based on effort, but on emotional consistency. It is about keeping alive the vibration of what you have already chosen to be. It is not about pretending out of fear. It is about embodying with confidence. This is what differentiates the ordinary manifester from the conscious co-creator. And here comes something essential. Your body needs to feel the truth of what you affirm. This means that it is not enough to say, "I am prosperous," if your body contracts when you think about money. You need to create new sensations, activate new feelings, teach your nervous system what it's like to live in what you desire. This is not mental, it is vibrational, it is energetic. You start slowly training your state of mind, imagining, feeling, acting as if it were already real. And little by little your field changes, your frequency rises. And when that happens, reality responds, because it always responds. The universe always listens, but it responds to vibration, not words. So stop now and observe what you have been doing in the last few days. What have been your dominant thoughts, your most recurring emotions, your most frequent words? The good news is that this can change, and it can change now. The choice of who you want to be is yours, the state you assume too. And the reality that will follow will be just a consequence. So, at this moment, I want to propose a simple but powerful exercise. Close your eyes for a few seconds, breathe deeply. Imagine, in as much detail as you can, that what you most desire is already yours. Imagine the sensations, the environment, the people around you, the sound of your voice, the peace you feel. Feel yourself living it. Now open your eyes and keep that feeling alive. Maintain that vibration, because it is what will attract the next chapter of your life. And if you've come this far with me, it's because something inside you is awakening. You know somehow that you are ready to take control of your reality. You already understand that it's not about waiting, it's about being. It's about choosing to vibrate differently, today, now, at this very moment. So if this content touched your heart, comment below with the phrase, "I choose to be." And if you want to further reinforce your decision, also comment with the word vibration. These two expressions will help you anchor this new state you are creating within yourself. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to sustain this new vibration, even when reality tries to pull you back to your old self. And this will be essential for you to manifest with awareness, clarity, and confidence. So stay with me, because the best is yet to come. And this is where the magic begins to happen, when you understand and practice what Neville Goddard called acting as if. This is not a superficial technique, nor is it a positive thinking trick. It is a true realignment of identity. It is when you consciously choose to embody the version of yourself that already lives the reality you want to manifest. Many people hear this phrase, "act as if you already have it," and think it's just acting, as if it were forced theater, a kind of inner lie. But it is not. It is not about deceiving the universe, much less pretending to others. It is about precisely shaping your energetic frequency from a new state of consciousness. It is a vibrational decision, an internal repositioning. When you act as if you already have what you want, you are actually teaching your unconscious that it is already real. You are reprogramming your cells, your posture, your body language, your voice, your thoughts, your internal chemistry. Everything begins to align with that version of me that already lives the life you're asking for in prayer or trying to attract through thought. Neville said, "You don't have to wait for external manifestation to feel at peace. You need to cultivate peace first so that it manifests externally." And that's exactly what acting as if proposes. Imagine an actor. He enters the stage before the applause. He dresses as the character long before receiving recognition. He lives the role internally until the audience believes him. And the same applies to life. You need to embody the energy of what you want to live before the outside world confirms it. Sounds simple, maybe, but it's deeply challenging, because the outside world screams the opposite. It says, "Look at your bank account. You're still alone. Nothing is changing." But when you choose to act as if you already have what you want, you are telling the universe, and especially yourself, that you believe more in your internal creation than in the momentary appearance of circumstances. This is faith in action, applied faith, vibrational faith, and faith here is not waiting with your eyes closed. It is living with the eyes of your soul open. Do you want to manifest abundance? Act with lightness and confidence when dealing with money, even if you don't have much yet. Take a step with the awareness that you are supported. Dress with dignity. Treat your choices with respect. And most importantly, treat yourself with respect. This changes the frequency. Do you want to manifest a true relationship? Act as if you are already loved, complete and sufficient. Feel desired. Value your space. Take care of your energy as if you were protecting a precious love. Don't seek approval everywhere. Be your own validation. Do you want to heal your health? Act as if you are getting stronger. Eat as if you love yourself. Move gently. Breathe with intention. Feel yourself healing with every step. You are teaching your body the path to regeneration. This is the secret. You no longer need to wait to be who you want to be. You just need to choose to live as if you already are. This is not utopia. It's co-creation. The big key is that when you maintain this state consistently, reality begins to bend to your new vibration. People respond differently. Opportunities begin to arise. Unexpected situations begin to collaborate with your new self. It's not magic in the usual sense of the word. It's energetic coherence. It's the universe responding to a new vibrational field. And this process activates something within you that no coach, therapist, or external mentor can give you. The feeling that you are the creator of your own reality, that your imagination is the bridge to all manifestations, that your body is the temple of experience. And that faith is not a concept, it is an attitude. And here's an important point. By acting as if, you don't deny the current reality, but you also don't cling to it as if it were permanent. You respect what is, but you cultivate what is coming. You understand that what you see now is just a vibrational echo of what you once were. But what you are now, that will determine what is on the way. It's not about spending money you don't have or pretending to be happy when you're broken inside. It's about becoming aware of the energy you're sustaining and choosing a different energy with intention, presence, and courage. And you know what happens over time. Your new attitude becomes a habit. What once seemed like an effort becomes natural. What was once a simulation becomes identity. And manifestation becomes inevitable. Because now you're no longer trying to be, you already are. This is the heart of Neville's teaching. He didn't ask you to believe blindly, he asked you to test it on yourself, to live the process, to observe how reality transforms from your guided imagination. And that only happens when you act as if what you want is already real. At this point, I want to propose a new practice to you. Not theoretical, but real. Close your eyes again. Take a deep breath. Imagine something you deeply desire. It can be a simple scene. You signing a contract, hugging someone you love, living in your dream place, receiving the news you've been waiting for. Imagine it happening now. How would you feel? What would you do? What would your facial expression be? How would your body feel? Your breathing, your heart? Now open your eyes and move from that feeling. Take it with you. Walk like that version. Talk like that version. Smile like that version. Be silent like that version. That is acting as if. That is living the vibration of what is already yours in spirit. And when you sustain that energy, the physical world begins to react. And if you've made it this far, I want to extend a special invitation to you. Write the phrase, "I already live my new reality," here in the comments. Write it with awareness. Write it with intention. And if you want to reinforce it even more, also comment the word presence, because it is in presence that manifestation accelerates. These comments are not just engagement, they are vibrational declarations. They are seeds planted in the energy field of your new reality. And in the next section, I'll show you how to keep that vibration stable, even when life tries to pull you back into the old pattern. Because maintaining the state is what separates those who manifest once from those who manifest always. So stay with me, because now we're going deeper. Now that you understand the power of acting as if, you may be wondering, but how do I bring this into my daily life in a practical way? How do I transform this energy, this vibrational concept, into real actions, even with all the challenges and distractions that everyday life brings? And that is an extremely powerful question, because that is where true transformation lies. It's not about knowing it intellectually. It's about embodying it. It's about making the invisible a conscious, daily, present choice. The first thing you need to understand is that it all starts with your energetic posture. Even before you open your mouth or make a decision, your body, your language, your expression, and your energy are already communicating to the universe what reality you are vibrating in. And this communication is subtle but incredibly powerful. Therefore, the first step in putting acting as if into practice is to observe and transform the way you position yourself in life. Now think about who you would be if you already had what you want. How would you walk down the street? How would you see the world? What would your tone of voice be? How would you react to a problem? This version of yourself which already is, carries a different frequency. And it is this frequency that you need to start cultivating consciously every day. Let's imagine that your desire is to manifest financial abundance. Instead of mentally repeating with anxiety, "I am prosperous, I am prosperous," but acting all the time with fear of losing, with guilt for spending, or with a feeling of scarcity when looking at your bank account. Try something new. Act with gratitude, with tranquility, with confidence. Choose, within your current reality, gestures and decisions that express lightness and security. This can be as simple as organizing your finances with care, offering a small donation with joy, or even choosing to stop complaining about what you lack. These small acts, done with intention, reposition your vibration in the field of prosperity. Now, if your desire is to attract a true relationship, the path is not to chase attention, force connections, or feed expectations. Instead, start acting like you are already loved. And here's the key point: you act like you are loved, even before someone gives you that love. You offer it to yourself. You take care of yourself with respect. You silence the voice of neediness and walk with the dignity of someone who knows they are desired. You dress like someone who loves the person they see in the mirror. You say no to what diminishes you. You walk away from what confuses you. This is active vibration. This is acting as if, and this creates such a magnetic field that love begins to approach naturally with the same frequency. And if your desire is to manifest healing, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, the principle is the same. Act like someone who is healing, like someone who already feels the energy of regeneration flowing. It doesn't mean ignoring the pain or deluding yourself. It means not feeding into the role of victim. It means breathing more deeply, eating more consciously, moving your body with care, respecting your limits, but also not settling. It means listening to your intuition instead of rushing. It means allowing the miracle to happen through your willingness to act as if the miracle were already underway. Do you see? In all cases, it is not effort that creates, it is the state of consciousness. It is the vibrational presence in the now. It is not about going out and doing random things to force the universe to respond. It is about doing everything with the awareness of the I you have chosen to be. It is having coffee with the energy of someone who is already living their best reality. It's leaving home with the attitude of someone who has already been blessed. It's talking to someone with the confidence of someone who already feels complete. It's stopping repeating the old story, because every time you describe yourself as needy, as unlucky, as someone who will still make it, you reaffirm the old state and prevent the new one from taking hold. And here comes something very important. Acting as if is different from trying to control. Many people confuse this. They think they need to force themselves, rush, do 1,000 things to show the universe that they are ready. But acting as if is silent, serene, firm. You don't have to prove anything. It flows naturally because it comes from a place of certainty, of peace, of trust in the invisible. This is the actual practice, living every gesture, every word, every breath, as if your desire were already part of your reality. You don't need to change the whole world around you. You just need to change the way you position yourself within it. And when you change inside, everything around you begins to reorganize itself. It's as if the universe says, "Oh, I see, you're already living it, so let me align the rest now." And this process needs to be daily, constant, sustained, even on days when everything seems to be falling apart, even in moments when you feel like you're regressing. Because it is precisely in these moments that your new self is tested. When the old reality tries to pull you back, it is your persistence in acting as if you already have that keeps your new vibration active. This is spiritual muscle being built. This is true faith being trained. And you only develop this strength by living the process. So today, choose a small gesture to represent this new identity. It can be something simple, getting out of bed and saying, "I am," walking around the house with more presence, preparing your meal with more intention, writing a phrase on the mirror that reminds you who you are choosing to be. Anything that anchors you physically to the new vibration. Because manifestation is not just mental, it is lived in the body, in the cells, in the emotion. And your body needs to feel the change for it to become real. And if you've come this far with me, it's because you're ready for this practice. You're ready to apply it. You're ready to live it. And that's why I want to propose something powerful now. Comment below with the phrase, "I act as if it were already real." Put it on record. Declare your new vibration. Also write the word intention if you want to reinforce this commitment to your new state of being. These words are more than interactions. They are vibrational confirmations of your transformation. And in the next step, I'll show you how to protect this new energy, how to keep your vibration high even when everything around you tries to bring you down. Because maintaining the state is the next level of conscious manifestation. Stay with me, because now the journey goes even deeper. If you have truly understood everything we have talked about so far, then perhaps you are now ready to access a truth that many avoid, that few accept, but that can completely liberate your experience of manifestation. You are already what you seek. Yes, right now, at this very moment, you already are. Even if you cannot yet see it with your physical eyes, even if the outside world has not yet changed, even if the results still seem distant, on the spiritual plane, in the vibrational field, you already carry within you the complete seed of the reality you want to live. Neville Goddard was emphatic in saying that the only reason we do not manifest consistently is because we do not accept being now what we want to be. It's because we are stuck in the illusion that we need to achieve something out there in order to feel something in here. But that is the great mistake. Nothing on the outside will happen until you become it on the inside. The world is a mirror, a reflection, an extension of your inner beliefs and vibrations. All the time, life is just giving you back confirmation of what you believe yourself to be. This is the law of assumption. This is the heart of conscious co-creation. When you assume, not as an idea but as an identity, that you already are, then everything around you begins to organize itself according to this new frequency. The world adapts, people change, opportunities arise, doors open, because you stopped waiting and started sustaining. And it is important that you understand this deeply. The universe is not testing you, it is only mirroring you. Life is not denying your requests. It is showing you your vibration. When you still say, "I want," the universe understands. You still feel a lack. When you say, "I will have," the universe understands. It is still distant. But when you declare I already am, with conviction, with truth, with energy vibrating every cell, there is no other possible response but materialization. And maybe now you are feeling an inner calling, something that is beginning to stir inside you, a mixture of excitement and fear. A desire to dive in, but also a subtle resistance, as if part of you still doubts whether it is really possible to now be what you are seeking so much. And that's okay. This conflict is part of it, because for a long time you were programmed to believe that you could only be happy when you achieved this or that. You were taught that you had to deserve it, fight for it, prove yourself. But spiritual awakening begins exactly when you understand that there is nothing to be conquered, only remembered. You are not here to learn something you don't already know. You are here to remember what you have always been. You are not creating something from scratch. You are simply accessing the frequency of your higher self. And that self already lives the life you desire. It already feels the love you seek. It already walks with the peace you long for. It already lives in the abundance that seems so distant, but it is not distant. It is within you right now. And that is why, starting today, you can stop running. You can stop begging for manifestation. You can stop begging for signs. Because everything you seek is waiting for you to remember that you already are. And the most powerful practice you can develop from now on is to sustain this state of being with presence, with gratitude, with constancy. Sustaining is not forcing yourself. It is not forcing yourself to think positively all the time. It is choosing, day after day, to nurture the feeling of what you want to be. It is stopping breathing and saying, I already am, even when nothing outside shows it. It is choosing to keep your field clean, your mind aligned, your heart receptive, not for fear of losing something, but because you know that you are already whole, complete, worthy, and fulfilled. And from that place you act, you create, you move, you decide. And everything you do, everything you touch, everything you say will be a reflection of your new frequency. You will no longer be trying to change the world. You will simply be allowing it to reflect the truth of who you have become. This is true spiritual freedom. When you understand that you don't have to wait for something to change outside to finally be happy, confident, secure, or abundant. You simply choose to be now. You allow yourself to feel now. You take a stand now. And the question I leave for you to reflect on is, what would change in your life if you truly accepted that you already are what you seek? What would your mornings be like? Your decisions, your relationship with time, with money, with love, with silence? What would your attitude be if you already knew that everything you need is within you now? Feel the answer, don't rush, don't run away, just breathe and allow this awareness to settle in. You don't need to know all the steps. You don't need to understand all the details. You just need to sustain the vibration of who you already are, of who has already won, of who has already been chosen, of who already has. And if this message made sense to you, if it activated something inside you, if it touched a truth that may have been dormant, then I invite you, with all due respect and with all possible spiritual intention, to leave a comment below. But not just any comment, a decree. Write, I already am. 3 simple words, but they carry incalculable creative power. Write with faith, write with dedication, write as if you were energetically signing your new reality. And if you want to anchor that frequency even more, add the word aligned. Because when your inner self is aligned, the world has no choice but to reflect that. These comments are not just for the algorithm, they are for you, so that you declare, so that you affirm, so that you confirm before yourself and the universe that yes, you already are what you seek. And in the continuation of our video, I will show you how to remain in this state, how to protect that vibration, how to shield yourself from doubts, distractions, and external energies that try to pull you back into the old pattern. Because sustaining the I already am is a daily choice, and you don't have to do it alone. If you've come this far, it's because something inside you has awakened, something that recognizes the power of consciousness, of words, and of presence. And that's no accident. If this video touched your soul in any way, subscribe to the channel right now because this is your place. This is where spirituality meets practice, where you learn to create your reality every day with awareness. And now I want to extend a special invitation to you. Write the phrase, "I am a conscious creation," in the comments. This way, you seal this journey with intention, activate your vibration, and inspire others to do the same. If this content helped you, leave a like, because that's what makes YouTube understand that this message is important and shows this video to more people who, like you, are ready to embrace their true spiritual identity. And don't leave yet. The next video is already on the screen. Click and continue with me on this journey of expansion, because awakening is just the beginning. Let's go together.